Oh, goodness. Okay, just a little bit of wildness there. Let's see. So Sezen Aksu uh, is uh, oh, right. Right. So we talked about she's basically dissing the state. The state can't represent and protect national identity. Only private capital can do that, which is obviously a very right wing, conservative sort of thing. But it's liberal in the sense it's economic liberality, liberalism, and in favor of religion, in favor of free choice, in favor of free capital, free minds, and free capital. Right. Um, so it's on the right, but the old-fashioned right. um, okay, so Light from the East. We were talking about that when you heard that clip, which I've just now posted. I finally figured out how to hack YouTube and post these videos, even though they've been quote unquote banned. It's only banned from being searchable. I can still find them on my account and figure out the link and share it with you, and so you can watch it here. But if you're following me on YouTube, you won't find these videos there because they've all been banned because they have these clips in them, which I have the right to use, but apparently not according to YouTube. I have the right as an academic. We have the right to share these in our teaching clips, short clips, not the entire thing, which is why I've always had clips here after that one experiment. Okay, so a Light from the East, we can see is the audience Turkish or foreign? Well, they're Turkish, but they're listening with foreign ears. A segment of them are listening with foreign ears. So polemic, the ass polemic about the need for objectification of women's bodies, says in here is like Beyonce. On the one hand, celebrating women's power and empowerment and control, and on the other hand, using that empowerment to show off their heinies. And here's what she's talking about here. Oh goodness. Please stop following me around. They're following her around and taking pictures of her rear end. Please stop following me around on my yacht, snapping pictures of my ass. Look, I'll pose for you, and you can take a picture of me now. I've got no objection while singing, but when you follow me around on my yacht, you really get on my nerves. It means I can't swim. For goodness sake, what is the use? What on earth is the use of a picture of my ass? If it were to be of value to the country, I would let you take a picture of it willingly. I'd even draw eyes and a mustache on it, right? So she's showing herself to be offended, but she's also presenting her body in her public her public persona. I had a couple more. That was from page 140. There's also a little quotation here going back to this bit about the state as the protector of national identity. On 133, she says what they do is really primitive, and she's talking about TRT. They're really primitive. What I'm talking about is producing something new, something richer, something more colorful, something with a broader perspective, something all the people in the world can get something out of. I mean, our music is monophonic. Monophonic music contains with it very deep modal resources. She's talking art music here. Um, if only it could be pushed in the direction of polyphony, there's really no point perpetuating this primitive approach. There's no meaning in it's just folklore, right? And remember back here with uh, um, Amitav Ghosh, right, where he finds that these submerged histories are nothing but folklore, right? These histories of people working together. So she's really on the side of sort of capital, private capital blowing things apart. Um, in any case, he says here that he found this song everywhere. He's going across from one end of the beach to the other. I passed a number of self-enclosed. This is on 141. Self-contained resort enclaves, British, French, Russians, Czech, uh, where they were in complete silence. But once he gets to the Turkish stretch of the beach where we were staying, this is the public beach. It's densely packed, noisy, oriented toward restaurants, bars, shops, barbers, shared taxis. These shared taxi stations ferrying people to and from the Turkish, Kurdish, German, Dutch. These were guest workers coming back. Remember McMurray's book. and lots and lots of women, women showing off their bodies, wearing skimpy outfits, presenting their bodies. And these are professional women, right? These are professional middle class women who go to the beach and they wear their beach wear. Um, this is a public ritual of middle class modernity. Bodies as projects of discipline, as assertions of agency and desire, of spaces of technological intervention and development. Getting that bikini body is key. It's a key nationalist project. It's a key project of modernity. These are professional women who are religious, who are conservative, but they are showing off their bodies as well. Um, so they are, and they're listening to Sezen Aksu from one end of the beach to the other. From each radio, each bar, each restaurant, one would hear the sound of Sezen Aksu's voice. So you can hear this. That this is the voice of modernity, and he's not he's not really hopeful. Okay, so that is Sezen Aksu. On to three versions of Beloved Istanbul. Aziz Istanbul was Yahya Kemal's poem. In the 19th century, I believe. Let's see. Yahya Kemal, no. Born in 1884, he wrote the poem sometime in the 1920s, 1923, it looks like. And so here, let me get this big again so you can read it. So this is a great poem from history. Let's see if we can get it up here in front of the screen. Oh, goodness. I looked down on you yesterday from hilltop, beloved Istanbul. I couldn't see one place I had not strolled around, had not loved. Dwell on my heart's throne for as long as I live. Loving just one of your neighborhoods is a life's work. Stanza number 2. But it is you who creates... Oh, wait a second. There's a bit before. Right? First line. What sparkling cities there are in the world. But it is you, Istanbul, who creates enchanting beauty. He who has lived long, who dies, who lies with you, has lived, I say, in the sweetest and longest of dreams. So it's a lover writing to his beloved and saying how beautiful you are. It's a little bit sexual there in the second metaphor, second stanza, but you got to be a little bit creative here to read that into it. But I think it's there. He is talking about the city that he loves, and it begins with something like a call to prayer. So I'm going to play the call to prayer first, just so you get a sense of what that sounds like. And I've got one here in a very recent one from last night in Tunisia on a TV show. Here's a call to prayer. We'll keep it small. I don't want to step on any toes here. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله Okay, I'm going to pause it there. It's basically Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. God is great, God is great. Ashhadu anna Muhammad, Ashhadu anna la ilaha illallah, twice. That's I testify that there's no God but God. Ashhadu anna Muhammadur Rasulullah. This is I testify that Muhammad is the messenger of God, and then Hayya ala Salat. Come to prayer, come to prayer. Prayer is better than sleep for the earliest one, but otherwise it's just come to prayer, come to prayer. Um, God is great. So it's the call to prayer. You hear it 5 times a day, and the things you hear one in each mosque. So if you're in a city, um, usually the deepest part of the valley, if it's a city's in a valley, the deepest part is the part that's going to get the sunset earliest, and then as the sunset moves up the side of the mountain, um, as the sun sinks, the shadow moves up, and so you get the first call to prayer down at the bottom, and then after a couple minutes, sometimes over blending mosques farther up the hillside, and then finally the one at the top of the mountain says the call to prayer last. So it's sort of this echoing thing that goes on for about 5 to 10 minutes. And it's just beautiful to listen to the voices of the muazzin. Muazzin is the muaddin, the person who calls the adhan. Is called the adhan, the thing you listen to. So the muaddin or muazzin uh, um, gives this call to prayer, and it's a beautiful, beautiful echoing, wavering sound across any Muslim city, Istanbul included. But it is a reference to Islam and religion, and thus in Munir Nuruddin Seljuk's version here, which we'll hear in a little bit, we'll hear how it comes out.